Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Robert Allen. Welcome to our call tonight. This is what we call GoldMiind.com. And I just want to make sure that everything is going smoothly. So just giving a minute here for us to everybody all join in. Just checking on my screen over here to make sure that it's flowing in. This is the very first call that we're doing on a series of 4 calls. And want to thank you for joining in with us, everyone. There we go. There we go. What we call GoldMiind.com. All right, good. It is working. What do you know? So welcome to our call from anyone all around the world. My name is Robert Allen. Oops, somebody's calling me. Hello, Robert Allen here. And technology. So welcome to our call. Rick was trying to call me on the background. I hope that's okay. You good? Okay. This is the very first time, as you can tell, it's live. So good. My name is Robert Allen. I'm the best-selling author of these books you see right over here. #1 New York Times bestsellers, Nothing Down, Creating Wealth, and the bestsellers, the 1-Minute Millionaire, Multiple Streams of Income. I'm actually talking to you here from my office in San Diego, California. Let me give you I'm going to take you a little tour. This is where I work every day. It's actually in my home in San Diego, California. When people come to my office, this is where they sit. We have a little conference room over there. I can sit in my rocking chair. There's a beautiful view out the distance there, but the screens are down, so it's pretty bright out there. By the time we're done, it'll probably be dark in here. For those of you who are on the East Coast, well, it's dark there for you already, but here in California, the sun's just going down over the ocean right over there. It's a beautiful day. Like I said, some of my best-selling books are right over there, right there, those guys right here. And I'm what they call the Chief Mindset Officer for a company called RX. And obviously, I have multiple streams of income. And one of the things I love the most, one of my favorite businesses of all, is the company called RX with incredible products. And you can see those products right over my shoulder, right there. There we go. And I can zoom in on them actually a little bit. Let's zoom in. It's a little bright, so we can't see it fabulously well. But what we're starting is a series called GoldMiind, and the word mind is spelled M-I-I-N-D. You'll notice in the company RX, there are a lot of words that have 2 letters in it, and this one is called GoldMiind.com. Now, why GoldMiind? Well, if you want to go gold, if you want to be a gold member, as we call it in RX, you have to have a gold mind. In other words, before it comes real into the real world, before anything is manifested into reality, you have to think it first. And if you're not thinking to be really, really successful, then most likely, if your thinking isn't right, it's not going to manifest itself into the world. So the very first step is to think right, to get your thinking in such a way that you're in a mindset of thinking gold. So that's what this call is about. And obviously, we're going to be doing this video call like this. I'm going to be just sharing with you some photos. Let's see. Hold on a second as I figure this out. There we go. You should be able to see that. I think so. Let's see if you can see this. Here we go. Let me share a photo with you. Talk about how these products are fantastic. This is a photo of me on the left-hand side at 235 pounds. This is a photo on the right-hand side of me at, this is at 198 actually, but I hit 195, so I've lost 40 pounds. on these products. And do I think they work? Oh, baby, do they work? Period. This has changed my life. And I'm so excited to be talking to you about it. These products are absolutely fantastic. And what can I say? It's just the best thing I've ever done in my life. So we're going to be talking about how these products can change your life. And you're on this call because more than likely you are a member or a representative of RX. Now, some people have invited their guests to come in, and you're welcome to watch as well. But this is a training specifically to help you achieve financial freedom. And there are 4 specific lessons I want to teach you. And over the next month, we're going to be learning these 4 lessons. And then we're going to repeat these 4 lessons because I want you to be able to learn these 4 lessons as well. The bottom line of our conversation is for you to learn exactly how to build your stream of income with a mind of gold, right? So today's session is one of 4 lessons, like I said, in the GoldMiind cycle. This is designed to help you achieve more rapid success in RX and in life. As you might know, the basic process in RX is to enroll 4 new customers in your first 8 weeks in the business. Achieving this is called gold status. And so with 4 such active customers monthly, your own monthly qualifying product purchases can be free. Did you get that? Having only 4 active customers, and you earn enough to pay for the highest quality, healthiest products on earth. Essentially, your products are free. So yes, having only 4 active customers, you earn enough to pay for these products for free, and these products can help you and your family, your friends, even strangers earn their own free products. And it's the simple secret that I like to share with you about how to create lifelong streams of income. Can you do this is the real question I want to ask you. And nod your head and say, yes, of course you can do this. Anybody can find 4 customers. There are 7 billion people on the planet. Can you find 4? Now, the answer is, of course, yes, but will it be easy? And the answer is, of course, no, it will not be easy. I make it sound too simple. In fact, it is simple, but it's going to require some certain steps and things that I'm going to be teaching you over this next month. So to help you get to this gold status, I want to not only teach you how to think, but I want to teach you how to find those 4. And I'm going to teach these what I call 4 essential skills of all success, not just achieving gold status. So, if you're watching this and you're not part of RX, just relax, because the people who are in RX, they're going to learn how to build their business and earn lifetime streams of income. But if you're not in RX and you're watching this, I want you to realize that I want to teach you what I believe are the 4 essential skills of all success. And if you learn these 4 essential skills, you're going to be better at relationships. You're going to be better at any kind of other business you're involved in. You're going to be better at earning money. You're going to be better at losing weight, or better at learning, at gaining health. I mean, whatever you want in life, organizing your life, all these things. So if you want to be more successful, do you want more money? Do you want more love? Do you want more health? Do you want more free time? Then what I call these 4 GoldMiind skills are the key. And each week, I'll be teaching you these skills. And tonight I'll teach you 1 skill. And tomorrow, next week I'll teach you another one. And we're going to learn 4 specific skills. And now let me just talk about my teaching philosophy. And this is going to just take a couple of minutes. There are 4 principles I want to teach you about teaching. Not just about success, but how do you teach in a way that it'll stick. So principle number 1 is you have to go from to learn to do. In other words, when you're teaching anybody, you're not just teaching them to learn. I don't want you to learn anything tonight. I want you to learn how to do. I'm going to actually give you some assignments. And this week, you're going to do some things. You're not going to take notes and read your notes. It's about doing. Because the purpose of teaching is not to learn, but to act, to apply, to do. You heard that ancient Chinese saying, to know and not to do is not yet to know. And Confucius himself said, I hear and I forget. Right now you're hearing. I see and I remember. And I'll be showing you my video here in a minute. But he finally said, I do and I understand. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. But I do and I understand. So before we see each other next week, you're going to do some things. Or I'm going to invite you not to participate in this call. If you're too busy, to do a few simple things that'll take you 3 minutes a day. If you can't do it 3 minutes a day, please hang up and go away. Come back when you can. Come back when you're ready. Principle number 2 is you're going to do a few things well. And speaking of this doing part, you don't have to learn a whole bunch of things. You know, we're drowning in information and it can be paralyzing, overwhelming. There are too many decisions about what to do, and I want to give you relief from this overwhelm. I'm not going to try to teach you a whole bunch of things. I want you to only learn and do a very few things. You know, the Pareto principle teaches that 20% of the things you do give you 80% of your results, right? You've heard that 1,000 times. Well, frankly, if you just do a few things every day, that gives you leverage. In fact, what in the research I've done, 1% of the things you do give you 2/3 of your results. That means almost all the results are going to come from just a few decisions you make every day. How many decisions do you make every day? According to Marcus Buckingham, you make about 1,000 decisions a day. 200 of those decisions are about food alone. How many decisions do you need to make to change your life? Hold your hand out. Look at the fingers and the thumb on your hand. You're going to make 4 or 5 decisions every day that will make the difference between wealth and early death, that makes the decision between poverty, sickness. You're going to make the decisions between having great relationships and having terrible relationships. 4 or 5 decisions, and you can do that. Principle number 3, we've got a jet going on over here, so I hope that doesn't mess up our sound. Teaching is the shortcut to doing. Do you want to learn how to do it? Then I'm going to have you remind what Confucius said. He said, remember, I do and I understand. The shortcut to getting over the fear of doing is to teach it. And the faster you teach it, the easier it becomes to do. So I'm going to challenge you to find someone, anyone this week, and to teach them what I teach you tonight. Not this stuff. I'm just going to share with you what I call the preamble to our training. You don't have to teach them any of what I'm teaching you now. But in a few minutes, I'm going to teach you some things, and you're going to teach those things to somebody else. Because the principle number 4 is to teach simply. Teach so simply that the learner can easily remember it and teach it to someone else. So I want to teach you very simply tonight. So simple that you're going to remember what I teach you, and you're going to want to teach it to somebody else. If I teach it properly, then you'll be inspired to become a teacher who is motivated to become a doer. Do you see that? Now, how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, your teaching has got to be simple and interesting and memorable and portable, so you can do it anywhere at any time. Low tech and easy and engaging. And if you didn't catch that, that was an acronym called SIMPLE. And all those things, I won't go into it again, but next week I'll talk about this again one more time. The bottom line is, I'm not going to show you any fancy graphics or technology or PowerPoints. All you're going to need is a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. And of course, you're going to need your brain. And what is your brain? Well, it's that simple process of how you start to see things, right? And so I want you to be seeing things. I want you to be, learning how and I'm trying to show you my video right now, so I'm coming back up live. Turn my camera on, I think. Oh, let's see, there we go. Let me do this. There we go. There we go. All right, it's getting a little darker here in California as the sun goes down. Now we're going to come out live again, so I just want you to talk about these fundamental principles. If you learn this stuff well, just a few things well, it's going to change your life. So what are those fundamental principles? Principle number one tonight is this thing right here. It hits your brain, and it's a magical word. It's a simple word. You've heard it a million times. So when you're teaching this to somebody else, like I'm going to teach it to you right now, you have to learn how to dream. Most people don't dream. They use their brain to think negatively, to imagine negative things. Well, that's dreaming in the negative. And most people don't dream in the positive. You know, they taught us how to do this when we were children, but it's not something that we forget. We can easily learn how to use this brain to dream better. And it is the fastest way to persuade anybody, by the way, is to get them to dream. And that's what I want to do with you here tonight. I want to teach you how you use this thing called your brain, and just touch yourself at the forehead level right there. You'd say, this is the most powerful computer on the planet, right here, yours, the one you're touching on your forehead right now. Nothing's more powerful than your brain, nothing. No computer's ever been made that can do what this can do. And yet if you take this brain and you program it to ask yourself disempowering questions like, why can't I figure this out? What does your brain do with that? Finds a reason why you can't figure it out. Why don't I seem to be able to be so successful? How come everyone else is more successful than me? Wrong question. Whatever you question your brain, that's how you program it. You question it. And when you question this, it goes and answers the question. So why am I so stupid? Your brain's going to go answer that question. Why do other people seem to get this faster than I do? Your brain's going to answer that question. That's a disempowering question. It needs to be an empowering question. Like, how can I learn this more quickly? How can I be gold in the next 8 weeks? How can I find 4 people who are going to absolutely love this product, who are so excited to want to get on it that they're going to beg me for it? No, that's an empowering question. Now, most of the time, you'll notice your brain throughout this week. I want you to be aware of what's going on in this brain up here. And your brain is going to be asking yourself questions constantly, because that's how it works. And you're going to you need to ask questions that are empowering to yourself. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to take you to a site. Hold on just a second. And let's see, I'm looking for my, there we go, let's see. Hold on one second, I'm looking for this one. Get rid of that. Technology. Let's see, where did I put that? What I'm having challenging doing is finding how my web browser shows up, Rick, and trying to figure out what I did with that. Oh, here. Okay, let's try this. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm sharing that now. Let's see. I'm trying to get my web browser. Oh, let's see. Let's try this. I don't want to go there. Let's see. Don't want to go there. Well, let's try it this way then. Let's try it this way. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. Here we go. There we go. You should be able to see this now. Excuse me for being a little slow on the draw. And speaking of drawing, that's what we're going to be doing. Now, some of you have heard me talk a little bit about what I call the napkin presentations. We're going to be referring to some of that content today, but it's something that's going to be easy for you to share. Now, remember, you're going to find somebody this week and you're going to share this with them. I want you to get a blank piece of paper like this, and you're going to be sharing with them some of the things you're going to be drawing. So let me make this a little bigger for you to see. And I'm using a program called idrew.com. It's a web program that Rick Billings, my techie guru, has shared with me before. And so I'm going to be actually drawing something in front of you. I'm doing this live, and therefore you can see that I'm not what you call the greatest artist. And I want you to know that that's good, because nobody, I want to prove that anybody can do this. So I'm going to be drawing some things for us to look at here. Hold on a second. What I'm going to be laying out for you is how I want you to see your future. Here's where you are today, and this is kind of this is your face. You know, maybe it's not you. Maybe you're a happy person, but you know, most people. I'm going to put this as most people are. You know, they got a frowny face. So things aren't going all that well. I want you to put down the date down here at the very bottom. So let's type in the date. It's 2015, and it's March the 2nd. And I'd like you to do that as well. Whatever you see me doing, I want you to take a blank piece of paper out. I want you to do the same thing as you watch me draw. Now, we're going to come up in the top right-hand corner, and we're going to draw another square that, like I just drew just earlier. And we're going to draw another circle in it. You might be better at circles than I am. Remember, I'm doing it with a computer, so it's a little trickier with a computer. Of course, where do you want to be 5 years from now? You want to have a frown on your face? No, you don't. We don't want a frown on our face. We're not going to do that. We're going to actually do something. We're going to do a smiley face, right? So here we go. Let's draw a nice big smile. Oh, let's make it a really big smile. There we go. I want you to do the same thing. And I want you all to realize that anybody that's watching this can do this. If you're at any place where you can't draw because it's dangerous, then obviously don't. But I want you to be able to do this. Matter of fact, you're going to be doing what I'm teaching you right now with maybe one of your children or with a friend of yours. And we want to put 5 years out in the future. So let's see, what year would that be? That's 2020. And we're going to call it March the 2nd, 2020. And I want you to ask yourself the question. Here I am in March I'm down here. I think you can see that. I'm down in this bottom left-hand corner, March the 2nd, 2015. There's something you probably would rather remove from your life. I guess I'm going to ask you that question. If you could eliminate and reduce, delete, or minus or take out of your life if you could minus a few things out of your life today, I want you to just write down 2 or 3 things that you would eliminate from your life. Maybe it's something to do with a relationship that you would like to improve, you know? So maybe you'd like to get some arguments out of your relationships. Maybe you want to take some debt off of your shoulders, or maybe you want to just be less overwhelmed. Maybe you'd like to be more well, what do you want to remove from your life? What would you like to have less of, is the question I'm asking you. And I'm going to ask this to you personally, because I want you to respond to me for real right now. I'm going to give you just another few seconds to write down a few things that you'd like to get rid of. And then when it comes to 5 years from now, you know, what do you want to make sure you add 5 years from now? So let's do a plus sign up here. Anybody can draw that. I want you to just kind of write down what you think. See how my lines are not, oh, that's a straight line. That was a nice one. Just write down 2, 3, 4 things. You know, 5 years from today, doggone it, I had better have some more of this. And write down a few things that you'd have more of. Right, you really think about it. What do you really want? It's a question. Can I ask you to actually write this on your piece of paper? Right at the very top. I'll type it in. But I want you to write this. What do I really, really, really want? What do I really, really, really want? I want you to be asking that question. So what are you going to add to your life that you really, really, really want? On my conference call, love. So it's a very interesting question. I'm going to draw some symbols here that I'd like you to draw. I want you to draw a symbol of a heart right there, because I bet you'll want more love, or I want your love to be at least better than it is now. For you to love people, for people to love you, for you to have more love in your life. I'm going to draw a clock up here. And those are the hands, the big hand, the little hand of a clock. I want you to have I want your time to be in control. I want you to be able to have free time, lots of free time. You want that? And then I'm going to draw a symbol as a stick figure, but it refers to, you know, your body, your health. How healthy do you want it to be? You want to have great health, or do you want to have some challenges with your health? Do you want to be vibrant? Do you want to be thin? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to be firm? Do you want to be, you know, have energy? I mean, and the final, obviously, I'll bet some of you wrote down that you want some more of this. Oh, I messed that up a little bit, so I'm going to erase that last one. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to draw it again. There we go. You want some more money? More than likely, the things you wrote down on the left-hand side on the plus sign, would have included most of these things: more love, more time, more health, and more money. And when we come down here to the lower part of the screen, most people, well, half of marriages don't make it. So most people don't have as much love as they'd like to have today. Most people are overwhelmed with so much to do, they can't even think about adding more money, more time to their plate. And most people are stressed out physically so that their health is in danger, and they do not have the kind of health they would like. Maybe you do, but most people don't. And when it comes to money, most people are in debt, and their financial pressure, and they just don't have what they would like to have. And isn't it strange that most of the things we want in the future are things we don't have now? And these are the excuses that most people give. They'll say, well, I want to have this kind of life, this better life up here in the future. I want to have more love. I want to have more time. I want to have better body. I want to have more money, you know? And then you ask them, well, let's go do that. And you know what they'll tell you? Well, I don't have enough time to do that now. Or I don't know anybody I could talk to about this. I really don't have the kind of energy I used to have. Or they'll say, I don't have enough money to do that. And those are the same excuses they use. Whenever you ask them, do you want to make more money? Do you want to have some more time? Do you want to? And they'll say, no, I don't have that now. Of course you don't have that now. You know why you don't have that now? Because you don't have a dream of having more of that. You know, this dream up here, this top right-hand corner, is about you deciding that this is your life, the way you want it. And that's something you really, 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 really want. Because I can guarantee you something. If you don't do something about this, 5 years from now, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Your relationships are going to be, more than likely, they'll be worse. I'm not trying to be a naysayer here. Forgive me if that sounds too negative. I'm just trying to tell you, if we were to track the lives of everybody that's on this program right now, we're live. This is March the 2nd, 2015. If we were to track you for 5 years, I can almost guarantee that most of you, probably 90% of you, would have relationships that are about the same or worse. That most of you would still feel overwhelmed. Most of you would be less healthy, no doubt about that, because the pressure of bad relationships and overwhelming time and money problems, that kills people faster. Your health would definitely be worse. And I don't know about you, but your finances would probably not be a lot better. And the only way you're going to make them better is you're going to decide tonight that they are going to be better, period. You're going to figure out how to do that. And now I want to enter into, the second part of our conversation tonight. This is what I call the big picture. This is the way we are today, bottom left. This is the way we want to be, bottom or top right. There's nothing magical or mystical about what I just shared with you. What I'm trying to have you do personally for yourself is to ask yourself some tough questions. What's my life really like now, and what do I really want it to be? And as you do this with somebody this week, find a family member. By the way, you're not trying to sell them anything. I ask you, don't even talk about RX at all. People are going to ask you, why are you doing this? And you're going to say, because I'm taking a class with a #1 New York Times bestseller. His name is Robert Allen. He's written some New York Times bestsellers books on money. And I'm taking a class. It's free. He usually gets $1,000 an hour, but he's donating this time to me for free. And I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm enjoying this. And he's given us a homework assignment for me to find somebody and actually teach them what he's teaching us this week. Would you be willing to be my teachee tonight, or whenever you're going to teach them? You're going to ask them, would you please, can you spend a half an hour with me? Because it'll go a little shorter than the way I'm teaching you tonight. I'm actually, spending more time maybe I should, but the bottom line is I want you to be able to teach this to somebody. Okay, if you're really worried about that, then teach one of your children or teach a total stranger. Just come up to somebody in a bank line and say, you know what, have you got 5 minutes? I've got an assignment. And this is not an exercise for you to sign somebody up in your nutritional company called RX. Don't use it as that. This is not a pretext for you to go and sell something to somebody. This is for you to teach somebody. Why? Because I want you to get over the fear of doing, and therefore you're not going to ask. I'm not trying to have you sell somebody something here. You're actually going to try to teach them that something is going to be valuable to them. You're going to give them something, and that's what I'm going to ask you to do here. Now, so that's the big picture. That's step one of our conversation tonight. Now, I'm going to have you draw here the slope of a mountain. And this is where you want to be, 5 years from now. You want to have climbed the summit of a life you're excited to live, don't you? And as we start to learn these things together, I'm going to share with you what probably is going to happen. And just remember, I've taught all my entire life. I've taught millions of people through seminars and webinars and training programs and books that I've written, literally millions. And I've generated thousands and thousands of millionaires. I know what I'm talking about. And I've seen hundreds of thousands of people who started off and they thought they were excited and they start off in the learning curve. And this is what happens. You'll start off from where you are and then you're going to go through a learning curve. And it's going to look worse for a while than it looks at first. You hope to have that beautiful life up in the future there, but you're going to go through a learning curve. It may last, several months, frankly. And if you're not willing to go through a learning curve, more than likely you're going to never have the kind of dream you really want. You need a learning curve, but we all do whenever you learn something new. And then, it takes a while for some of us to kind of, take the route that we want to take to get to the top of the mountain. Sometimes there's some switchbacks along the way, but eventually, what do you want? Maybe you want to go right straight to the top. Maybe there's a faster way for you. But frankly, this is probably the way it is generally whenever somebody learns something brand new. And they start here and they start to learn and immediately. First of all, why do you think they have a learning curve? Well, because they're already overwhelmed with so much to do. The last thing they need is another thing to learn, right? So I want you to only learn a few things because you don't have time to learn too much. You got to do the building of a lifetime stream of income, an extra stream of income. It's got to take you less than an hour a day. They say 5 to 10 hours a week. You're going to spend an hour a day, maybe, and maybe less than that, because you don't have more time than that. You are already too busy. So this learning curve means, how do I get rid of some of the things there's some television I got to stop watching. The bottom line is I have to learn a few new skills, only a few. I'm going to teach you 4 skills. And the bottom line is, you're going to have to fit those into your life. And at first, you're going to not be all that good at it. And can I be perfectly blunt? You're going to look like a beginner. You're going to look like a novice. Because if I were to learn how to play tennis today, and I didn't know how, let's say, I'd look like a novice until I'd figured out how to do the strokes, and then I'd taken some lessons from a pro, and then eventually I could get good. But it would take me time, and I would have to practice and learn it. Now you can learn what I'm going to teach you in a very, very short period of time, because for those of you who are starting with us tonight, maybe you just barely joined RX. So you know that you got 8 weeks, and how in the world are you going to, what's your goal in 8 weeks? Well, you're going to enroll 4 people, 4 customers. Yeah. And you're going to say to yourself, well, how do I do that? Well, that's the learning curve part. That's how you, and you can see I'm drawing these stick figures in here with my pen and my computer mouse. So you can see it's not quite as maybe as fancy, but the bottom line is you need 4. Everybody in RX needs 4. And how are you going to find them? Remember, since you're starting off and you're a novice, and holy smokes, they're going to ask you, have you made any money yet? And what are you going to say to that? See? Well, that's why I'm telling you, don't talk to somebody unless you've already started and you're doing good at it. If you're just brand new at this, I would recommend that you don't talk to them about RX. I want you to go through this lesson with me first. But I want you to do this right now, though. And remember, you're drawing exactly what I'm drawing here. I want you to draw the names right above their heads. You're going to draw the names of 4 people that you could teach this to, not sell anything to. Remember, we're not selling. I want you to draw the names of 4 people you could teach it to. I'm going to remove a couple of these guys that are they were a little messy. There we go. And I want you to actually write the names of 4 people that you could teach this to. They may not be anybody you ever enroll in RX. So this is not the purpose of this. I want you to figure out, let's see, who could I teach this stuff to? Who's a friend of mine that would let me bend their ear for a half an hour? Who owes me? You don't have somebody like that who owes you. You did a favor for them once. Maybe you took over that PTA meeting where they couldn't come, and you took it over and helped them. You helped them when they were sick once. Excuse me. You're just going to basically call them on the phone and say, you're not going to say you owe me, but you're going to say, I need some help. I need to teach somebody a lesson in order for me to learn it better. Can I bend your ear? It could be a family member that's living in the home with you. It could be one of your, teenage kids if they'd sit still for a while. The bottom line is you're going to just write the names of 4 people who might be on the list of people that you could ask this week. And who knows, they might all say no. But the bottom line is you're going to find one of these 4, write the names in there, and now, remember, the teaching of this is part of the process. So going through this learning curve, this little dip here, you're also going to run into some challenges. Everybody runs into a challenge from time to time. Let's just draw a wall here. As you're heading up the mountain, you're going to run into a brick wall every once in a while. Something that slows you down. Maybe you're going to run into a cliff, that holds you back, where it's a little too steep. It's kind of scary. Here's what I'm going to ask you to teach me. You tell me. If this is an obstacle, a barrier, this is a learning curve, this is a cliff, I'm asking you to just tell me, what do you think the obstacles that might stand in your way as you achieve this ultimate goal of you living the ultimate lifestyle? For you having the kind of money you want, the kind of love you want, the kind of time freedom you want, the kind of health you want. In order for you to get that, I know that there are going to be some things that are going to stand in your way, some challenges, some obstacles, maybe some difficulties you'll run into. I'd like you to just write down what you think some of those obstacles might be. And remember, they're yours, not mine. I can tell you what mine are, but I'd rather you tell me what you think yours might be. What are some obstacles that might hold you back as you're learning, going through the learning curve? What might be a difficult thing that you could have trouble with as you start climbing the mountain? What could be a brick wall you run into? Something that would slow down your progress. What could be a steep part of the mountain that might scare you? You just fill in those 3 blanks right down here. Got it? Now, let's just think about what we've been talking about. Remember, your brain is so powerful. What we've asked your brain to do by just this simple exercise, we've asked your brain on the left-hand side to get real about the way it really is. What is your life really like? And are you happy with the way it really is? I don't know anybody who has something in their life they're not happy with. And they just let it go. They just kind of get used to it. And sometimes years go by as they get used to it. And they get they're uncomfortable, but they're comfortable being uncomfortable because they're more afraid of the new thing than the way they are. And I want you to realize that that's something that it's not good enough. You get one shot at this life, so make it count. I also want your brain to know, what is it you really want? Most people don't know what they really want. They get a catalog in the mail, and it's a beautiful catalog with gorgeous things in it. And they're flipping through the pictures, and they just can't decide. So they call the customer service person on the phone, and they say, I'm having a hard time deciding. Would you just pick something you think I might like and send it to me? I mean, is that what you do? Do you ever order anything from a catalog like that? No, you tell the operator exactly what you want, the exact size, the exact color. You even pick out the shipping time. You figure out exactly what you want. And when it arrives, you know what you do? You open it up. And if it isn't exactly what you ordered, what do? You ship it back. Now, your brain is a catalog, and that's what most of you are doing. You're saying to your brain, can you just pick something for me you think I might like? And your brain goes, what would you like? And you go, well, just anything you think I might like. And your brain goes, tell me what you like. And you go, I'm really not quite sure. And your brain goes, well, as soon as you figure out what you like, let me know, please. And in the middle of that blank spot in your brain, do you know what you start planting in there? Images of you being afraid. Images of you telling your brain what you don't want. You never want to tell your brain what you don't want. If only just briefly, to let it know we don't want to go there, then you have to replace that with we want to go here. This is where we want, Mr. Brain, Mrs. Brain, Miss Brain, whatever. This is where we want. And this is where you need to be specific. 5 years from today, or earlier, if you set an earlier date, this is what I want. This is how I want it. This is where I want to live. This is who I want to live with. This is what my family, my relationships are like. This is what my health is like. This is what my body looks like. This is how much I weigh. This is how vibrant my health is. This is my free time. I have most of my time free. I can do whatever I want to do. Why? Because I can make enough money to do what I want to do. And you tell your brain exactly what you want. Now, this journey from here down this, learning curve, this trough of learning, through the walls that are going to inevitably appear as you're climbing this mountain. And just the hard part of doing it every day. This is what the climb is all about. And that's hard enough. And then you're going to run into some real challenging problems. And you know what? This journey is what I call the hero's journey, from Mr. Campbell, who wrote the book by that title. This is the story of your life. And I'm trying to share with you what heroes do. Do you want to be a hero or don't you? Because if you are a hero, if you can imagine yourself being that way, then you get to live this kind of lifestyle. You get to live what you dream of. But if you're not willing to pay the price that heroes pay, then you end up with a mediocre life. And that's okay. If you want a mediocre life, and most people live that way, it's okay. But it's not okay to me. That's why I live in the home I live in. That's why I have the free time that I have, so I can teach you. I do what I love to do because that's my lifestyle. Was it easy to? No. It took me 30 years to get into this home, through a bankruptcy, through lots of failure, through the most embarrassing, horrific failures you can imagine. You wouldn't want to be, well, I don't know, maybe you would. If you want to live the kind of lifestyle I live, then you have to kind of pay the price I paid. And it was a very expensive price. I'm trying to save you all the pain that I've been through so I can get you to the top of this mountain faster. And so this lesson, these simple lines we're drawing here, are this hero's journey you're going to be taking. I'm not going to tell you how easy it is for you to make money in RX or any other way of making money, because that would be a lie. And anybody who tells you that is lying. They're trying to sell you something. And I'm just trying to sell you on you. I'm trying to sell you that you can have a hero's lifetime. You can live the best life, but it will be expensive in time and in effort and in failure and in learning. And there'll be some money to pay too, believe it or not. There'll be some investments you'll have to make, of course. But I know you can do this. I know that you can do this. I'm going to teach you that over the next 4 weeks. I'm going to tell you exactly how you're going to do this. Finally, on our last little bit here tonight, I want you to draw the roof of a little house. It's actually your dream home. And inside this dream home, this is where you live, and all the people that you love, the people that are your friends and family who come and visit you. I want you to imagine what it's like to walk up to the front door of your dream home in the future. However you live that dream, whether it's in the city you're in now, but wherever it is 5 years from today, imagine, and that's the secret word. Matter of fact, I want you to write that word down. Imagine. That is such a powerful word. Imagine. You know, Einstein himself said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge. And most people, they just want knowledge. If I just knew how to do this, if I just knew how to do that, they all want the how-to. I'm not teaching you any how-to tonight. I'm teaching you how to imagine. Well, if any how-to I'm teaching you is how to imagine, because you're not doing enough of it. And all success is 99% imagination. And if you don't know how to imagine, if you don't know how to dream, then you're going to, well, I'm going to be blunt here, but most likely mediocrity is going to be the way you live your life. And that's not good enough, is it? So I want you to imagine walking up to the front door of your dream home, opening the front door, walking inside. There it is. When you walk inside your dream home, I want you to say one word: wow. What's inside your dream home? It's something that is so special to you that every time you see it, you go, wow, I live here. This is mine. It was not easy. It took a hero's journey to get it, but I earned it. And I want you to imagine in all five senses. First of all, I want you to notice something. See if you can see it. Some people have difficulty imagining the seeing of things, but and I'm one of those, by the way. Just imagine as best you can walking inside the front door and imagining what it would be like to notice all that stuff in front of you, whether there's a staircase or a chandelier or a living room in front of you, or what's in your dream home. So create it in your mind. I want you to smell something that's cooking in the kitchen. The chef has prepared you their favorite hot dish, and walk towards the kitchen along the floor, whatever you're walking on. Is it wood? Is it carpet? Is it marble? Is it some of that mid-grade linoleum you've always wanted to put throughout your home? Whatever, just imagine walking on it. And walk into the kitchen, and the chef is there putting a taste of that thing you were smelling, that food you were smelling. Didn't that smell good? Taste it now as if it was real. And say, wow, I can afford the best chef to come in and cook this for me. How incredible this life is. Maybe you don't want a chef in your future lifestyle. I don't have a chef. I cook my own. But the bottom line is, on this one day, you can hire a chef to come in and cook your favorite hot dish, can't you? So do it. I want you to hear some things in there, hear some sounds, maybe some music. Maybe there's a fireplace crackling. But hear something as you're there, as you're in your dream home, your dream lifestyle. Imagine it. Make it clear as you can make it, as vivid as you can make it. If you can see in colors, then add colors. If you can't, then make it dark. However you do it is the way it works. Your brain is powerful, so just use it as best you can. And I want you to imagine what it's like to be there. And I'm going to ask you to do one final thing before we're done. I want you to imagine looking back all the way down the mountain to the way you used to be. There she is. There he is. Down there, they're struggling. They're overwhelmed. Their relationships are strained. Their health is pressured. They're overwhelmed, and they're probably in debt. What would you tell that person? From your future self to your self there on the left, what would you tell yourself? What would you say to yourself? Remember, having arrived at the top, having earned it, having worked for it, having gone this hero's journey to get it. Because that person, that future person exists and has earned great wisdom from the future journey they're going to take. And as they look back down the mountain to where you are down there, have them just teach you something that you know you need to do. Because the last thing you want is to get stuck down in some pit somewhere, or stuck against some wall, or at the bottom of some cliff, and saying, "Oh, I sure wish I could have a better life, but I don't." And you know what? I don't know for you. Is this your year or isn't it? Is this your year? You know what? This was my year. I said to myself, I am never going to weigh 200 pounds or more ever again for the rest of my life. And I made that decision. It was a decision I've made many times in my life. And about 3 weeks into it, every single time I quit. Until this time when I made the decision. And this time, on the date I said, February the 1st, 2015, I hit 200 pounds. I was at 199.5. It took me several months to do that, but there was nothing that was going to stop me. Nothing. It was imagined in such a way that I'm going to teach you next week. How do you imagine in such a way that it becomes done and not just a dream? I'm going to teach you how to do that next week. So that when you make a decision, it's done. Even though if it hasn't happened yet, but in your mind, it's finished. It's done. And I'm using myself as an example because for me to lose 40 pounds is unheard of. It's impossible. And yet I learned how to make the mind work so that it would deliver that result to me. And I want to show you how you can have that result as well. I want you to imagine living that kind of lifestyle. And tonight when you go to bed, I'm going to challenge you to dream for a few minutes every night, a couple of minutes before you go to bed tonight, about how you really want your life to be. You can go to sleep if you want to, in the middle of the dream if you want to, and then you can dream some more. The bottom line is, tonight I need you to do this every night for the next 6 nights until we get together again next Monday. I'm also going to give you another assignment. You're going to select one person and you're going to share as best you can the picture you see here. I'm not going to have you do it, in other words, you don't have to be perfect at this. You can be imperfect. Remember, they're not going to know what's right or what's wrong. You're just going to have to draw some pictures. And you want to tell them you're not good at art, as I told you tonight. I'm not very good at this. And yet, as you look at it, it's kind of works, doesn't it? And all the little pieces, that we've added here tonight. As I go and remove them all, you can see how we added it, how we built it up. I just built it up a piece at a time. This was the big picture. And then we just started adding pieces. There's the mountain. There's the hero's journey. There's the 4 people you're going to select. One of them you're going to teach one of these people. There's the wall that stops us from getting anywhere. Oh, these are the people's names we added. There we go. And there's the wall, and there's the cliff, and it's just simple stuff. It's not complicated. These are the challenges. These are the things. These are the things that would hold them back as they're sharing it with you. It's not going to be that hard to do. You can do this. And when you go to the website GoldMiind.com, remember it's spelled M-I-I-N-D. In the top of GoldMiind.com, you're there right now. So on the top left-hand corner, you can see you have to scroll up to the very top. On the left-hand corner, there's it says Dream. And underneath the Dream tab, there are 2 things I've put there for you. Number 1 is a quote that's from that you've heard 1,000 times. It's called the commitment quote. And I know you've heard it, but I want you to memorize it and come back on the call next week ready to recite it word for word. It's got like 100 words in it. I want you to memorize it word for word. And I want you to know what happens when you memorize it. It's going to take on a meaning to you that you had never understood before. This may sound too simple, because the quote, but it is great in consequence. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. If you want to know why you've been ineffective, there it is. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. In other words, all your ideas and splendid plans and dreams, all those dreams come to nothing unless you're committed. And until the moment that one is definitely committed, then it just doesn't happen. So I'm going to ask you to to memorize that. I also put in there a copy of Think and Grow Rich, a digital copy. If you don't have a copy for your library, here is one for you. You can take it and read it all you need to. And if you don't want to, I mean, if you have a copy, great. If you don't, download it and read it. Remember, I only want you to spend a few minutes a day on this. And the thing I want you to do tonight is to spend a few minutes tonight and tomorrow night and the next night. And that's all I'm asking you to do, besides memorizing that quote and finding one person to teach this to. And I think you can do this. You know you can. Okay? Now, my friends, we've come to the end of our call. Hold on just a second. I've got to learn how to collapse this. So, there we go. There we go. Hold on a second. I'm going to come back out live to talk to you again. And let me stop screen sharing. And there we go. Okay. All right. So you've got your assignments. You can print off the commitment quote, and I want you to memorize it. And you're going to dream. And then part of your dream, you have to go out into your dream lifestyle, and you got to imagine it. It's the powerful way of, driving that belief in there. Part of this is going to make you believe that this is possible for you to achieve it. But I'll tell you some other reasons why we're doing that next week. As we end tonight, I want to thank you very much for being on the call. I hope you learned something. You're always welcome to. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to communicate with you. Well, if you're involved in RX, you can always send me an email at robertgrantallen@gmail.com. robertgrantallen@gmail.com. If you're going to send anything to that, remember, there's nothing for me to sell. There's nothing for you to buy. I'm not in that business with this particular call. If you want to leave an aha and tell me what you've learned as a result of our call tonight, great. If you want to tell me how it could have been done better, happy to receive any comments about that. Any quick questions, but realize that I get lots of emails. I get 100 emails, 200 emails a day. So more than likely, I will not be able to answer your questions. Maybe I can, but don't expect it. Don't make it as a possibility. I want you to know that I love this company, RX. I take those products myself every day, every single day. That one those ones right there. Let me see if I can get my arm to work here in the camera. There we go. So it's interesting when you go to camera backwards. There are some drops that I take every day, and the weight just drops off when I take it. As you can tell, I'm 40 pounds. 40 pounds. So you think I love this company? Oh yeah, baby, I love it. And I wish you well. Good luck. God bless. Next week, the secret of how this works. Bye-bye. God bless. Next week.